Hello, all you thoughtfully made people out there. It's Courtney Morrison with Made Architecture and Design, back with another week in review. So, last Saturday and Sunday, we went canvassing with our friend Daniel Gatis, who's running for city council here in Ward 3 in Marietta. So, we went and knocked on a bunch of doors, talked to a few citizens, and really just doing our best to try to support him and get him elected. Early voting is coming soon, and we just want to support him in all that he does. So, that was Saturday and Sunday, then a little bit of family time on Sunday and church that afternoon. And on Monday, I did a little financial wrap up for the end of Q3 in preparation for a meeting later in the week. I also got a call from Truist, my business bank, about the fraudulent charge that I had. I've talked about this in a couple of weeks in review a couple weeks ago. And so they called and asked for some paperwork for me to submit some paperwork, which I did. The gentleman on the phone indicated that I should get that money back, that the case looked good. I haven't seen it yet. I'll believe it when I see it, but I assume that money is gone. But I am grateful to Truist for at least investigating and figuring out what to do there. So that was good. A little bit of good news. And then I worked on the update for the pizza bar that I've been working on. On Tuesday, I had breakfast with a former client who were industry adjacent. He's works for an engineering firm. And just a great guy to talk to and see things from his perspective. They, he runs a much bigger company than I do, and they have a lot of partners and things like that. And they're in a totally different industry, even though it's an engineering firm. But it's really good to get to talk to him and get an update on what he's been up to. And so I enjoyed that. And then worked through some options for the historical remodel that I'm working on, is we have to resubmit those drawings to the historical board for approval. So work through some options with the owner, trying to come up with something that satisfies their wants and needs in their program, but also the historic board. And so trying to figure that out. And then worked on that some on Wednesday, and then got the environmental report for the commercial project that I've been working on or with the owners down in the city of Smyrna. And so I talked about this a little bit. They have a pretty complicated site. It's severely encumbered due to creeks on two sides, as well as a sewer easement that runs through it. But we met with the city of Smyrna. We have a civil engineer. The civil engineer recommended we get an environmental biologist to go and examine the creeks to identify the limits of rested vegetation, which they did, and then really confirmed what I thought was that the survey shows the creek buffers not necessarily incorrectly, but they are more of an encumbrance than they need to be. And so in having the environmental biologist go and stake the limits of rested vegetation, now the surveyor will go and update based on where the environmental biologist put flags. And so we'll gain some more usable space there. So I was really grateful that my hypothesis was correct, and the environmental biologist confirmed that. Now the survey can be updated, and we can get a little bit more land, and I think it'll be slightly less encumbered for my clients and maybe a little bit easier to do what it is they want to do. So that was really great news. I'm glad we got that. Then on Thursday, I had lunch with my business mentor, who I've been meeting with for a long time. It was really a great meeting. He just sold his business, which was great, and so I got to kind of hear that story. Which is really fun and exciting for him, and also talk through my business, what I'm seeing for the fourth quarter and into 26. And so really grateful to get his perspective and talk through some things that I've been thinking about, and marketing and sales funnels and accounting practices and all kinds of things that he knows a lot about, and I am really just learning about as I continue to run and grow my business. So really grateful for him and grateful for that time. And then that afternoon, after that lunch, I came and met two architecture students from Kennesaw State University here at the studio. One of them lives across the street, and it was one of his classmates. And so he's my neighbor, and I have talked to him through his schooling process. He was just in a spot where he was stuck, and so he reached out and said, "Hey, can we come and talk to you?" And so they came and sat down and talked to me for a couple of hours, and we looked at some different options and ideas and variables for their projects and things like that. And so hopefully was able to give them some helpful feedback to help them get unstuck and move along in the process. So that was good. Really grateful to be able to do that, and honestly glad that he reached out. Then on Friday, continue to work through options for the historical remodel project, get those submitted back to the city. or not formally submitted, but we're in negotiations where I'm sending them some different options, some different ideas, some things that after I worked it with the client, and they can see it. So hopefully the next time we go through the historical board, it'll be a smoother process and will be approved. And then so did that. I got a comment response letter written for the HVAC company that I've been working on. We got another round of comments from the city for that. And so worked on the comment response letter, worked on the bar layout for the pizza company, and then worked on the schematic design set. Got that sent out on Friday for the mother-in-law suite that I've been working on with those clients. And so I got that sent out on Friday, which was great. And then we'll do a little bit more canvassing with Daniel and have some family time together in the upcoming weekend. So that is all I have for now. If you have any questions about who we are, what we do, or how we do it, leave them in the comments below. I would love to interact with you there, or perhaps address a comment in a future weekend review. So in the meantime, you guys be particular, and I look forward to talking to you soon.